Welcome to this tutorial for the experimental version of the Power Market Simulator. The target group for the experimental version are analysts that want to make analysis of new market models. The special features in the experimental version of the Power Market Simulator is that you are able to divide a price area in two or more areas. This is valuable if you, for instance, want to analyze on island states where there are no interconnection between the islands. It is also valuable if you want to analyze how a market will react when dividing a price area with internal bottlenecks. The reason why we are able to divide price areas in the Power Market Simulator is that every unit in the model, they have these coordinates that exactly shows where the units they are placed geographically. I'll show this in the next slide. Now we are inside the Excel sheet we have bought from Enerdata. And as you can see here, I've chosen Indonesia as an example here. And you can see the different power units in Indonesia. And what you can see here is that the name of the units here, and you can also see the capacity of the units, and you can see the GIS coordinates here, so we know exactly where they are placed, in which islands they are placed. And that is uh, how we are, this is why we are able to divide price areas. We also have these coordinates for all the other um, price areas in the world. The content of this tutorial is that I will show you how you can divide a price area, and I will also show you how you after that can do calculation on the divided price areas. But let us start with opening the Power Market Simulator. Now I'm inside the Power Market Simulator. As you can see here, the opening picture is the same in the experimental version than it is in the scenario version and the hour version. And you can also do the same type of calculations than in the hour version and in the scenario version. So if you look here, it is exactly the same possibilities you have to in order to change data here, and it is also nearly the same you can do here of kind of calculation. The only thing that is added here is that you are able now to subdivide area here. And if I would like to do for instance, a subdivision of Germany here, and look how will that affect the market situation, I can click here on the different countries around Germany, and then say now I want to make a divide Germany here in Luxembourg. So I click here on subdivide area, and then I will get this picture here. I start with clicking on the area I want to divide. This is Germany, Luxembourg here, and then I click here in order to draw the division here. So I click here, and then I click on the areas that should. This here is the one area of Germany. This here is the other area of Germany. And then I click here on the subdivide. And now I have divided Germany in two different areas. When I've done that, I can go here to calculate on the subdivided areas here. Yes. And now I can do calculations in the same way as we have done before. The first thing you have to do here is that you have to look at the transmission connections here. You can, for, for instance, click here on the transmission lines here, and then you can see that there are no transmission lines at the moment between Germany, Luxembourg, and the other surrounding price areas. You can also see this transmission line that is at the moment included in the calculation. So you have yourself, you need to insert the transmission lines here. If you establish here, for instance, a transmission line here between DK1 here and the northern part of Germany, you say the capacity of this line here is 2700 megawatt here in the one direction. In the other direction, you name this here for DK1 to Germany, Luxembourg 1 here, and it said the start year is, for instance, year 2000, then it is included in the calculation now, and now you can see it here. We click down this here again, and then of course you have to also to insert the transmission lines between Germany, the parts of Germany and the other surrounding countries here in the same way as we did before. When you've done that, you also need to insert the right capacities, maximum yearly capacity in the new areas here. You change it here. And as a default, the total capacity here for Germany, the maximum capacity for Germany is this amount here, and as a default, the capacity in the two areas will be divided so that the capacity in each of the areas is the same. But if you have a better estimate of the capacity, you can change this here. For instance, to say that in the northern part of Germany, that this capacity is 30,000, and it is 50,000 in the other part of Germany. This here is the capacity in the other countries that is included in the calculation. We save this here, and what you can see now is that the capacity here in Germany, in the northern part of Germany, it is this amount here in this hour and in this spring and Saturday. If I change this to a working day, the capacity will increase, of course. So this is done in the same way as in the hour version of the Power Market Simulator. Now I've clicked off the supply and demand curve, and now we are able to do calculations. If I want to do a calculation for all these areas here and look at how market will be affected when we are dividing Germany in two different areas, I click here on the quick calculation here, and then I can get a result for the prices in all the different price areas we have here. So this here is in fact a way in order to analyze what will happen in the market if you divide an area in two different areas. It is, of course, this here is very important if you are doing analysis on an island state. Let us look at that now. So I click down here and start again the Power Market Simulator version, the experimental version of the Power Market Simulator. Now I'm back at the starting point here, and I want to move to, for instance, Indonesia. As you can see here, Indonesia is one price area, but it doesn't make any sense because there's no interconnection between the different islands. So if I want to here to divide Indonesia in different price area, I will click here on the subdivision part here. I say I will click here. It has to be yellow before I start dividing Indonesia. And I say that I want to divide it in different price areas here. This is the first price area. I say here I go and say subdivide here. And then I say the rest here I also want to subdivide and I make it yellow here. And then I start making a subdivision here. I can do that for all the islands here at Indonesia here. And then I say go here and say subdivide again. And when I've done that, I can make calculations on the subdivided areas in the same way as we did for Germany. Again, I have to insert the capacity, the demand in each of the areas here. In this area here, I say that the capacity, for instance, is 2000 megawatt here, and in the next here it is also 2000 megawatt, and in the other part here it is 3000 megawatt, for instance. And then I save these values here, and then I can do a calculation here on Indonesia when it is divided. I click on this area here and make a quick calculation, and here now I can see that the price here is 82 euros per megawatt hour. And here you can see the supply curve here and the demand curve in this part of Indonesia. And you can do calculations here and make changes in spring and Saturday, and also the time of day as you do in the normal hour version of the Power Market Simulator. So this here is a tutorial for how to use the Power Market Simulator in order to make calculations where you have divided price areas in one or more areas. This was the tutorial for the experimental version of the Power Market Simulator. I hope that you will start making your own analysis when you divide price areas in two or more areas.